Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to a new episode of the Real Salt Lake Show on KSL Sports. It is a great day to be a RSL fan. I am joined by Joshua Clark. What's up, Josh?
What's up, everybody?
And then we've got Teenage Wolf Boy, Mr. Alex Napolis. Alex, what's up?
Hey, man. Happy to be back.
Yeah, love it, dude. He's been working so hard, he's not cutting his hair anymore.
It's time. I got to hit up the barbers out there and see who's going to fit me in for a haircut.
Weren't you commentating soccer today?
I was, yeah. I just got done with that. I was over at Slick.
What was the result? What game? What was the importance, significance, anything?
Not necessarily significance, but it was against Southern Nevada, and the women won 6-0, and then the men won 2-0. So it was fun.
Is Mark Davis coaching men, the men and women?
No. He's just doing men's now. But shout out Mark Davis, because literally every time I'm there, he asks about the show and he asks about you guys, and we have a little conversation about the RSL show. And he's super awesome, super cool dude. Shout out Mark. He'll probably listen to this.
Yeah, big fan of Mark. He was for backstory. He was my captain of my high school soccer team.
Small Lake City.
So me and him go back.
Small Lake City.
Ask him about next time you see him. Ask him about the song he would always play when we were getting on the bus.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll never forget it.
All right. Well, hey, should we tell them about the person at Indoor Soccer that got mad at Jake?
I mean, I want to know who it is.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm sure he doesn't listen to our expletive podcast, but yeah, I'm curious. I'm very curious.
Yeah, so our old host Jake Simons, who hasn't been on the podcast for like 3 years, texted us last night, said that they had beat a team in indoor soccer. And
it was outdoor.
Oh, outdoor. Okay. He had been, kind of bodying some kid, fouling him. Anyways, they win, and at the end of the game, Jake goes over to kind of make amends, like shake this kid's hand, and the kid's like, "Stay the F away from me." He's like, "F you and your effing crappy podcast," to his face, and Jake's like, "Dude, I haven't done that podcast in like years." So there's somebody out there who is really bad at soccer, who's a poor sport, probably sucks at soccer, and thinks our podcast is the worst, and I'm totally fine with that. But it was really funny to get that message last night, mainly because Jake he's had nothing to do with the podcast for the last 3 years. He retired and went off into the sunset, and people are still sending hate towards his way.
Yeah. So, and I love it. I mean, I think we all thrive off the hate anyway, right? Like,
yeah.
I learned from Andy,
it's soccer.
Can't troll the trolls.
Greg, it's soccer, right? Super bad. Okay.
What if his name was Greg?
Probably, most likely. Cool. Hey, well, we're coming back from my goodness. Okay, first off, Alex was not with us on the last episode, but we had predictions for this one, Josh. We thought that LAFC was going to manhandle Real Salt Lake. We both locked in predictions 4-1. We were going to be losing by 3 goals. And pleasantly surprised. We always say that at the end of a prediction like that. Hey, we hope they prove us wrong. But I want to talk to Alex a little bit, because he's been a little MIA, been working on his career, commentating, all that stuff. Alex, you know what the result was.
Yeah.
You know how good and not so good we looked in LAFC. We'll talk about that here in a minute. But prior to getting to Los Angeles to face LAFC, did you think Real Salt Lake, honestly, did you think Real Salt Lake had any chance or any shimmer of hope to pull a result in our favor in LA?
I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to say no. I did not expect to walk away with any points out of LA this weekend, just because since LAFC have joined this league, we've only ever beat them twice, once in the playoffs, once in the regular season. In the regular season, we had yet to win at LA. 8 straight losses heading into this one against LA, being outscored 22-5 goals. And the way that RSL was coming into this one too, not only is there that history behind the LAFC games with us, but there's also that streak that was leading into LAFC where RSL was a hit or miss team. Like, you know, they'd have good first halves, they'd have bad second halves, or vice versa. And so I did not have the confidence for this team to head over to LAFC BMO Stadium and pull out the result.
So if you were with us on the last episode and, you know, we're all throwing 4-1s, like what would your prediction have been for Real Salt Lake? Like what do you think the scoreline would have been, or maybe even should have been? Because I think obviously clearly we're all a little bit shocked. But what do you think you would have predicted to that?
It sounds stupid saying this now because we know how the game ended, but I honestly would have said exactly what happened in Leagues Cup was going to happen in this one. You know, you RSL give them a fight for like the first half, and then the second half would come out completely abysmal, and we get dropped like 4 goals on us. And that's honestly how I was feeling heading into this one.
Josh, you got anything to add, dude? So we all tuned in. We all watched Real Salt Lake versus LAFC, and you know this one was a little bit of a slow start, but what I don't know. What were your feelings going into this, Josh, on match day? What?
Honestly, the lineup made me feel a little better. I don't know what was hashed out between Pablo and Sava. Part of me wonders if Sava wanted a different position and they had some disagreements over it. I don't know, but I did enjoy seeing our, you know, it's definitely our best attacking four, right? Out there together in some way or another. And that gave me some pause for hope, and more of hope to not get absolutely blown out, right? I think the defense looked better. I think Justin Glad found his mojo again. I think, you know, going into it, I was confident of not getting blown out. But I still didn't expect a win, especially off a Chicha goal. I think that is just completely fitting. But I still would have predicted 4-1 going into this. Nothing would have changed my mind.
Alex, before I let you kind of dissect this one a little bit and talk about the positives and maybe some of the negatives, let's look at the lineup. We had Savarino up top with Chicho. We have Luna, who got the start, and then Andres Gomez. Below that, we've got Palacio, Ojeda. Then we've got, in the back line, we've got Oviedo, Vera, Glad, and Brody. And then in keep, we've got McMath. So, Josh, to your point, man, like that's a pretty stacked starting 11, in my opinion. I mean, clearly would love to see Pablo Ruiz. He's going to be out for the remainder of the season, just not in the conversation anymore. But when you look at that lineup again, Severino, Chicho, Luna, Gomez, Palacio, Ojeda, Oviedo, Brody, Vera, Glad, McMath, that looks like a lineup that we probably should have played in Open Cup when we got eliminated.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that, but let's also remember, you know, Ruiz went out in that match, right? Palacio still hadn't gelled with the team at that point, but I think we have to give a lot of credit to Palacio. I think he's really gelling with the guys now, and that's showing, right? The only question mark for me is still Oviedo and Brody, honestly. I still think our back line is suspect, but they had a good game. So yeah, probably one of our stronger lineups with a couple interchangeable pieces if needed that really wouldn't have changed much, and that's on the back line.
I think to me, the thing that stood out the most wasn't necessarily the tactic or the personnel or the players out there. I think the thing that stood out to me the most was the fact that Chicho Arango walked into this one with the captain's armband.
Yep.
Mostly because if you go back to, I think the last episode that I was on with you guys, I talked about who's going to step up and be the leader, who's going to step up and take control of this team and put the team on his back and say, and be the leader that this team so desperately needed. And so for us to see not only Chicho Arango come out with the armband against his former club, but just to have that confidence from Pablo and the staff to be able to carry the captain's armband and kind of take it away from Justin Glad, who up to this point has been having some rough performances. Chicho Arango is stepping up and being that leader that I think this team was missing.
Josh, You agree on that, dude? Was it time for the tides to shift? And I mean, yeah, we were all very critical of Justin Glad for good reason. Um, so do you agree with that move, man, to give Chicho the armband and just kind of see how things play out? And do
Yeah,
you
I
agree with
mean,
Alex? Is he a leader? Do you see him as a leader of this club?
Chicho's absolutely a leader. I think maybe taking the pressure off of Justin Glad, right? Like letting him just focus on his defensive responsibilities and not on having to be the captain at the same time. I think that's a good move. And I think Chicho is totally capable of being the captain. And it showed for me. I also think, just going back to Chicho's performance in this one, in the Open Cup, or not, sorry, not the Open Cup, in Leagues Cup, I feel like Chicho was trying to do too much, right? To really stick it to LAFC. And I think that was detrimental to that match in a lot of ways. But with this one, Chicho stayed true to Chicho, right? And had a much, much better game and showed LAFC why they potentially should have kept him to play alongside Boanga.
You think LAFC is regretting not retaining or holding on to Chicho at this point?
Their fans are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's one LAFC fan who doesn't like not want that move to go back, right? Every time you see it on Twitter, you see it on the socials or whatever, everyone's saying and criticizing LAFC for letting go of Chicho Arango.
Yeah. And he's like he's still very loyal to LAFC, right? Like, still kind of early to celebrate. I don't think he'll ever celebrate in front of those fans cuz you could tell, man, he loves that club. I think if he had it his way, he'd be there, but what I really admire about Chicho is that he's here in Real Salt Lake, man, and he's giving it all that he can to this club. And I mean, he's just putting it out there every single day. Like there hasn't been a performance or anything that he said in the media that kind of comes across like lackluster. And I think that's why they've entrusted him with being the captain and leading this team. And it just goes to show that for how long you've been on this in this club, or for however long you've been a player of Real Salt Lake, just because you're here and you've got the tenure doesn't mean that you've possessed those natural leadership qualities like somebody like Chicho would. And I'm not throwing shade to like Justin Glad, but um, it's pretty cool to see somebody like Chicho just come in and just own up to it and take the reins and just say, hey, you know what? My club now. Let's go. Let's win. And to get a huge win in Los Angeles against his former club and to also be the only the only goal, and a beautiful goal at that too. It's like statement soccer, right?
Absolutely.
He's like he's saying, "Hey, I'm gonna make you regret trading me. I'm gonna make you regret not keeping me here. I'm gonna serve you a loss, and on top of that, I'm gonna be leading this bitch, Real Salt Lake."
Yeah, and it couldn't come at a better time. Like there's no better game to bust a slump than against LAFC, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just a confidence booster, not only internally, I think, but also you've got to, if you're a club looking on the outside, you're going into playoffs. I mean, all of a sudden, Real Salt Lake's a real threat. And it's weird to say that because we're always on an up and downward slope. But Josh, like you tweeted it 2 days ago, you said, hey, it's kind of weird to have a secured, locked in playoff position that's not going to come down to a decision day anxiety driven match. And so things are looking really good for Real Salt Lake right now, and we have to give credit where credit is due. I'm gonna just kind of hold back a little bit and not kiss the club's ass too much. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about the current state of Real Salt Lake? And we also asked the fans too, so stick around if you did tweet us or if you DM'd us on Instagram. We're gonna read your stuff. But Alex, what's the state of Real Salt Lake like right now, man? Are you confident in this club right now?
Look, let's be 100% honest and 100% frank. This result against LAFC, well, actually, this performance against LAFC, it really wasn't pretty. You had to hunker down a lot defensively. There was so many turnovers, sloppy giveaways in the final third, and Real Salt Lake really couldn't get anything going in that attacking half throughout a majority of that game. But they rose to the occasion when they needed to the most, and I think that's the most important thing you got to look at in this situation. there's obviously things you got to fix up in the performance wise that will carry on into the last 3 games, but this is one of those results that you look back at. You're gonna look back at it and you're gonna say that this changed the course of Real Salt Lake season, because es un resultado que cambia la trayectoria de un equipo, is what they say in Spanish. It's a result that changes seasons, because you don't go into LA and you pull out those 3 points. You don't go to BMO Stadium and walk away victorious ever. And so I think it boosts the morale of the club. It boosts the morale of the players. Like I said, obviously they need to go through and fix things up, because all in all, it wasn't a pretty performance. But at the end of the day, the 3 points and the results is what matters the most, and it's something to build upon confidence-wise.
Absolutely, and we have every reason to think that we can finish with a home playoff spot. And yes, we've qualified for the playoffs, but for me, that's not enough. We need a home playoff game. And with the last 3 matches we have being absolutely winnable, there's no excuse to not finish second place. There's no excuse.
I'm going to correct you and say home advantage in the playoffs, because no matter what, there will be home games. We just need to have that
advantage. Yeah. You know what I mean.
Because the new stupid format.
They need to stop changing the damn format. But
not a fan.
But no, I mean, we have SKC, Colorado, and LA Galaxy. 3 teams, 2 of them have been eliminated, I believe, and 1 is on the verge of being eliminated from playoff contention. So for me, we have to get 9 more points. There's no reason to not, right? SKC is totally beatable, a rival. We have to beat them at home. LA Galaxy, they are playing well, right? And that is away at LA. So that one I could see being a little more difficult. But again, a game we absolutely have to win. And then Colorado, they have a little new manager bump going, right? They are performing a little bit better. But again, these are 3 games that we have to win. If you want any kind of confidence going into the playoffs, you can't lose to any of those 3 teams. If you truly control your own destiny, and these are the 3 opponents you have to deal with, challenge accepted, man. We have every reason to go in and finish way higher than we potentially deserve to.
Do you expect to see a little bit of rotation, though, just to kind of rest some of the main guys against clubs like either SKC, Galaxy, or Colorado?
I hope not. I mean, we literally control our own destiny. We're coming down to the wire. Why not go for it?
I do want to throw this in there too as well, but I think I enjoy the fact that we had that LA game rescheduled, because I think it's more important to have it now than it was going to be right after Leagues Cup. But now we're in a bad situation, because Sava's potentially going to go play for Venezuela. Ojeda's potentially going to go play for Paraguay. Rubin most likely is going to go to Guatemala. Kevin Lambert might get called up to Jamaica. And so we're going to be heading into that LA Galaxy game, no matter what, shorthanded because of the international break. Which I think I'm not a fan of. I don't like that.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
But realistically, we got to go for it, SKC and Colorado, right? If there's forced rotation, so be it, right? But against the other 2 much weaker opponents, we have to go for the throat. We can't let them get moral victories over their rival, right? We have to stay focused. We have to control our quote-unquote destiny.
It is interesting to see RSL in kind of this position where they don't have the luxury of that extra game that the other teams around them do. Because you look at the table right now, LAFC's ahead of us, Seattle's ahead of us, but they've already played that extra game, and the point margin is, I think, 2 points.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And so RSL have a wide open path to get to securing that second seed in the Western Conference. And in all reality, they just have to go out and win out, which is a lot easier said than done.
Right, and that's what scares me, right? It's an easy group of games, and that's a really easy thing to let slip away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be a supporter of Real Salt Lake for a long time to notice the trends where we win the matches that we shouldn't win, like Exhibit A, LAFC, and then the matches that we're supposed to go in and dominate, hence SKC, Galaxy, Colorado, it may not go in our favor. But yeah, I mean, the teams that are ahead of us are looking really good, man. I don't know if you guys saw Christian Roldan's goal, 90+6, right at the stoppage to beat Galaxy yesterday at home was pretty incredible. But I do want to also kind of break this down and tell you guys where these teams sit. So SKC is sitting in 11th. Galaxy's in 13th. Colorado's 14th. And if you're curious, it's Minnesota who's in 12th. Austin sitting in 10th. Poor Austin FC, man. And on the Western Conference, yeah, sitting in first place is St. Louis. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been following them much. Yeah, I haven't been following them too much. But all in all, man, I think we're in a pretty good position, and I do agree with you guys that I like Josh's approach. Just kind of hit the gas hard and just kind of create that momentum. But I am curious to see what Pablo is going to do when it comes time to either starting our best 11 or maybe doing some rotation, or like Alex, like what you pointed out, losing some players to international play could be a little devastating, a little bit of a concern there. So, are there any key moments that we want to cover in this match, or should we just go straight to Rubio Rubin's dish to Chicho Arango's header?
I think for the most part, just what I remember from that first half is just Arsenal defending and sitting back a lot. And you got to give credit to that defense, who was so leaky leading up to this point of the season. And I think it goes back to that Vancouver winner again by Justin Glad, right? And Vera's free kick golazo against Vancouver. You play against Vancouver. Both of your center backs are scoring the goals to give you the win. That is going to boost the confidence of that defense so much. And we saw it against LAFC. They just bunkered down. They didn't let. Usually, what LAFC has done to kill RSL has been balls over the top. They've just played it in through with speed over the top. And this game, you didn't really see that much from LAFC. And I think that's all credit to that defense for kind of figuring out how to slow down Danny Bouanga in that attack. And that's pretty much all I can remember for that first half.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't give him as much space in behind like we normally do.
Exactly. Yep.
Now, are you guys more impressed? I mean, Minnesota's sitting in 12th place, right? LAFC just handed it to them yesterday, dude. I think the scoreline was 5-1.
Bouanga had a first half hat trick, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, Real Salt Lake defense, to Alex's point, if you're shutting down somebody like as dangerous as Bouanga is a really good player. Then yeah, it seems like the tides are shifting. Something is clicking. Something has to be said about going in, especially, dude. Los Angeles, it's a tough place to play. You're not no easy points. It wouldn't shock me if that's like their mantra, their motto out there, something like that. You never really see LAFC drop points at home. I don't think it's a thing.
So pretty rare. They have a fortress like we used to have.
Yeah. Cool. So, looking at a few things here, I'm trying to see how far I can go back. I'm trying to find LAFC's starting 11, and I think I might have found it. Yep, Real Salt Lake. So, you've got Krapau in GK. Who cares? But let's look at the top. I mean, these guys came stacked.
You say who cares, but that's their best goalkeeper that they've been missing, right? That's a quality goalkeeper.
I think it's only his fourth game played this year after that broken leg in MLS Cup.
Yeah. I mean, he's back. So what? Okay. But up top, you've got you got Bouanga and Vela starting. And then you've got Oliveira. It looks like I haven't been really paying attention. I'm not sure who that is. Alex, do you know who that is? Oliveira?
All I know about him is that he's a young Uruguayan player, and for some reason, LAFC is really good at developing young Uruguayan talent, and so he's going to be a guy to keep an eye on for the future.
Interesting. Yeah, that is an interesting start there. But then you've got Acosta, you've got Sanchez, Tillman, Palacios in the defense, Murillo, Long, and Hollingshead. So it's like it's the regular rotation, or like the regular starter. So
right outside of Cellini, really.
Exactly. Which by the way, I remember when it had cut to Cellini, just kind of warming up on the side, and I was just thinking, how would this game go had Cellini been in? So don't know if it would have made much of a difference, but in a close call like this, like 1-0, could have been pretty significant.
I think what would have made more of a difference would have been not losing Kellen Acosta so early in the game. Kellen Acosta is an absolute engine for them. Him, Ilya, and Timothy Tillman are the brains of that team. Everyone gives credit to Bouanga and that offense, but really what runs that team and what keeps that team going is the motor in the midfield that is that trio of Acosta, Ilya, and Timothy Tillman. So when you lose Acosta so early in the game, I think it just completely throws their game plan off of what they had planned for this one. Bringing in Bogic so early into the match because of that injury to Kellen Acosta. But it kind of brought flashbacks because the last time we were there, we lost our engine in the midfield and Pablo Ruiz early in the game. And then now you have the reversed where Kellen Acosta goes down early in that one.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're hitting it right on the nail, dude. Just a lot of I wouldn't say misfortune for LAFC, but a lot of questions because I think that even with the product that they had on field, it's like Josh said, it's still a fortress. It's still a hard game to be won. But let's go to the goal. Chicho Arango, love his hair, man. His somebody tweeted his product that he uses. I guess like they let fans into like the locker rooms and they took a photo, and of course it's like some brand from like South America. Anyways, his hair just stays perfect. Let's go to the goal. So, this ball from Rubio Rubin that's whipped in, and if you guys go back and look at the replay, if you guys go look back at the video, it's almost like his center of gravity is just off because he kicks that ball, he like whips it into the box, dude, and then he just like starts stumbling like he's falling down a pair of stairs. A pair of stairs or a
case of stairs.
Case of stairs. He looks like he's like falling over, dude, but I think he just hit the ball as hard as he could, and he finds Chicho Arango just back post completely onside. Chicho Arango standing in between two defenders, but there's plenty of space. And I mean, you have to, if you go back and watch that tape and you're LAFC, how pissed off are you in that locker room?
You're very pissed, right? But that was a Hail Mary from Rubin, and honestly, that's the kind of goal LAFC scores against us, right? Ridiculously easy. So they can be mad all they want, but I'll take it.
I was more shocked at the lack of defending from Hollingshead, who is a veteran in this league, and should have had the situational awareness to see Chicho all by himself. You don't want to leave Chicho Arango all by himself inside of your small box, but he does that. Hollingshead kind of just loses his mark, gets caught ball watching a little bit. Chicho Arango runs into the box completely unmarked, completely by himself, and just has to poke it through to the other side to Crepeau. I think that's what makes it more impressive is the way the cross Rubin was able to get it off as he was falling down, and then Chicho all by himself to just tuck it into the that bottom corner. It's such a nice goal for Real Salt Lake to score against LAFC.
Yeah, the finish was very composed, right? Like
Absolutely.
That's a true finisher goal. A lot of guys maybe get a little too excited and put it straight at the keeper or over the top of the crossbar. So
yep.
Yeah, very composed goal.
Yeah, he picked out a spot for sure. And for context, when you look at the spacing between the defenders, he's got about 6 feet. 6 feet from his front, 6 feet from the back, has plenty of time to pick out a spot and just drill that ball bottom left corner. Beautiful goal. And you got to give it up to Rubin, dude. Rubin just said, he just yeeted it, dude. He just, okay, I'm doing this.
You sometimes just got to put it in the mixer, right? That's literally it. You just got to put the ball in a dangerous spot and see what happens. Well, and I feel like that's something that RSL lacks at times.
And this is a conversation that you and I have had before in the past too, is where Chicho's a target man. He's a target player. You want him inside the box getting those balls. That's exactly where you want Chicho Arango to be when that ball's whipped in, because you never know what's going to happen. He is a true target man in his style and the way he plays, and so that's what it is. You just cross it into the box and you find Chicho Arango.
Yeah, and honestly, he's got a little bit. Oh, this pains me. This so pains me, and Andy's gonna love this, but he's got a little bit of Wando in him, right?
He does, man. Yeah, It's
Yeah,
it's you get the ball anywhere next to him near the box, like
he,
there's
he's gonna
it's
get it on frame.
He's
it's
gonna
either
find
a
a way.
goal gonna frame, it's gonna go in, and he's been showing that for us, man. How many goals is he at for Real Salt Lake? Do we know the number? Anybody know off the top of your head?
7?
I want to say 10, but I'll
Damn,
double check.
really?
I'll double check.
Why am I thinking 7?
Hold
I'm
on.
looking right now.
Yeah, we'll pull that up. That'll be an interesting stat. But
We're so professional.
no, dude, it's good. I think and I love the embrace from the team with Chicho, man. I think everyone else, I think
6.
everybody's bought in. Seis.
Across all competitions, though.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
No,
Mm,
I swear I could have sworn it was 10. Maybe I'm going crazy.
why are we all confused? Hold on.
10 seems excessive. I could believe 7. 6 seems like that even seems like it's low, but
6
It looks like 7. No, that's an assist. No, 6. He's only played 10 MLS matches.
Oh, maybe that's where I'm confused.
Hold on. Did he not have any? No, he had a goal against Lyon.
He had 2 in the Leagues Cup, and then
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure he
this
had
is
1
misleading.
in Open.
Anyway, bundles of
sure.
goals.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be bundles of goals. Love that. Yeah, everyone's bought in on Chicho, man. Fans, staff, players, everybody. I don't think I've seen anything negative come out either criticizing Chicho, whether it's his like play on the field, his character, nothing. We're all pretty hot on Chicho, man. Dude, it's amazing just the thought that he's on Real Salt Lake is pretty incredible. And especially that it's converting for us and scoring goals, and in this case, getting us a game winner.
Right. How much of a relief is it knowing that we have a goal scorer on the field? Right, that true 9 that we've been begging for.
Yeah,
it's about time.
It's beautiful, 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 beautiful. And you know what? Pains to say this, but the result that we got, even with without Demir, because we've all just been so accustomed to having Demir starting, and obviously it's been a while since we've seen that, and we've seen him try to come back, get his legs. It just to be doing this good right now without Demir and Pablo is a really good sign.
Yeah,
That's
it
all
is.
I want to say.
And I really need Demir to bag 2 more goals. I need him to get 50. If he doesn't, dude, it is Kaye's fault through and through.
He has 3 games to do it.
Yikes!
Plus playoffs.
Man, it's doable. It's doable.
I could see him bagging some goals against SKC or Colorado. Honestly,
that would be that would be the time to do it. Actually,
50th goal game winner in Colorado, bruh.
Yeah,
Mount Rushmore. Let's go.
Would be excellent. Cool. Well, we move on, and let's actually real quick before we ponder what kind of direction we want to go into this. Before we read the Twitters, I'm going to say this: FC Dallas match was postponed last night due to a rainstorm, and a fan was just chilling, waiting in the rain. Probably wasn't told to evacuate because why would a fan still be out there? And the letter O, where the sign sits, Toyota Stadium, the first O, gets blown off by a gust of wind, and the O lands on this fan, right on his collarbone, gives him a welt, it's bloodied. He's complaining on Twitter that it hurts. He's tweeting at the club saying, man, I wish I would hear from the club. But I'm going to tell you right now why he hasn't heard shit from the club. Do you guys want to know why?
Let's hear it.
Because nobody at the club wants to take ownership or say the wrong thing to admit any kind of fault or admit any type of guilt. And what the fan needs to do is they need to lawyer the hell up, because I looked into it. If you're at a stadium and you get injured, okay, if it's during normal activities like, playing, so that means, Josh, if you're sitting on the sideline or next to the sideline and somebody drills a soccer ball into your face and gives you a concussion and you start to hemorrhage, the liability is on you because that's during normal play. Okay. What's not considered normal play is if, let's say, the referee blows a whistle and the play is dead and a player afterthought like kicks that ball into your head and F's you up, dude, there's some liability on the player because it's not within regular activities. You don't want to know what else isn't within regular activities? The letter
Acts of God.
O. No, dude, the letter O on Toyota, bro, blowing off and hitting you in the freaking collarbone. So, if you are the fan and you're listening to this, you need to consult with a freaking lawyer and you need to document your freaking injury, bro, because that is not okay. And I'm sorry, them giving you a kit or them giving you like a signed ball by the team, that might be cool. But what's not cool is when you wake up 2 years from now with chronic shoulder pain because you got hit by the freaking letter O on the Toyota Stadium sign, bro.
I hope he stole it.
I hope
he said he kept a piece. He said he kept a piece of.
Yeah, it's lodged in his shoulder, bro. So, you know, it was kind of a meme and it was like the talk of Twitter and all that, but you know, and I hate to be like the lawyer person, but dude, I mean, you got to protect yourself, bro. And I'm telling you, that's why no one at the club is like, "Oh, hey, we're so sorry, like come get a free kit signed by whoever." They don't want to say nothing, dude, because silence is much better than to admit any type of guilt in this
Yeah,
scenario.
well, you know the club's lawyered up and they're trying to figure out what to do. That's exactly what's happening.
Hopefully, man. What would you do? Oh, and then I tweeted out, I said, dude, if I ever got hit by anything, if I ever got hit by anything at America First Field, bro, I am going to own Section 35 by the end of the season. That whole blockade, it's going to be mine.
See, I think I'd go a different direction. I'd be like, I want Trey Fitzgerald to come clean my house. You know what I mean? I want Pablo picking up my dog poop.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For like a week.
So what I'm getting and understanding from this whole conversation is that the girl who got absolutely drilled by Brian Vera earlier in the season can now own Section 35 if she really wanted to.
No, because it was during play.
No,
that was during play.
He said while the referee blows the play dead, and so the referee did blow the play.
She could own Brian Vera. His contract, maybe.
Vera.
Yeah. But probably, I feel like once they take whatever offering was given, then like there's no more action.
That's the settlement, right? That's the settlement. By the time like this guy, they're gonna give him like season tickets for like next season or something, and then when he wises up and he's like, "Oh, my shoulder hurts and I'm in pain," and he talks to a lawyer, the lawyer's gonna be like, "Dude, yeah, hell yeah, we could get you so much money," and then they're gonna say, "You didn't take anything from the club, did you?" And he's gonna say, "Yeah, I got season tickets for 2024," and he's gonna say, "Yeah, case is dead, bro. They settled." Anyway,
also, we're not lawyers, so
no, we're not lawyers. If you are a lawyer, you'd like to chime in, please let us know. The whole injury thing and all that, it was like a quick skim of Google, but that seemed to have been it. Also, did you know that you're most likely to suffer a sports injury when you're watching it is hockey? A lot of people have taken a hockey puck to the face, and that's true, dude, because I remember when I was a child, I was eating popcorn, and then I heard everyone go, "Oh!" And I looked over, and this lady got pegged, dude, by a freaking hockey puck at a Grizzlies match.
I got blasted one by a Grizzlies match as a kid as well. So it happened.
It hit you?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, me. Right in the chest, bro.
Oh, did your heart stop?
I don't know. I mean, I'm alive, so.
Wow. What did they do for you? I'm curious.
Nothing.
They're like, suck it up.
They probably did something, and my stepdad at the time probably just like took it all and never told me. But
yeah. All right. Well, now that you guys know, if you get hit by any kind of sign that just gets blown away, you know what to do now. What's like the popular lawyer here in
one call, that's all.
Yeah, one call, that's all.
Better call.
Yeah. Okay.
Before we get to Twitter, should we talk about Messi being nominated for MVP?
You knew it was coming,
dude. Isn't that the most annoying thing ever? Let's be real.
You just knew it was coming.
MVP of what? Major League Soccer?
Yeah.
For winning Leagues Cup? Like the season's not even over.
Well, the nominations are out now, right? They happen today.
Yeah, that's going to happen, obviously. Come on.
The problem is it might. The problem is it might. And that's annoying.
I think
you got Bouanga having the season of his life. You got Vasquez. You got Acosta. You got all these guys killing it.
Lucho, right?
Right.
Yeah, Lucho.
And you're going to just you know they're just going to hand it to Messi just because.
The argument can be potentially made for newcomer of the year, potentially.
Sure. But even then, feels
but
gross.
MVP, in no way should Lionel Messi be MVP of MLS.
Shouldn't even be nominated.
You can't. You just can't put him in a higher. Right now, what he's done in Major League Soccer, which really hasn't been much because he's been out for the last 4 or 5 games. You can't put him ahead of what Lucho Acosta has done for Cincinnati, right? You can't put him ahead of what Danny Buanga has done for LAFC.
What Klaus has done for St. Louis.
Yes, exactly. There's no way right now Lionel Messi is an MVP of MLS. Newcomer, the argument I think can be made, but not MVP.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to me.
So you're just going to discount that he came onto the worst team ever, granted with a little bit of help?
That's why I'm giving him newcomer. That's what I'm saying. The argument can be made for newcomer, but there's no way he's MVP.
But they won Leagues Cup, bro.
Yeah, but we're talking about MLS here. He can be the Leagues Cup MVP, which was a thing.
I think he was.
I think he was. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't count that.
Whole different bracket. Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's a lot of you know what writing on Messi for sure.
Yeah.
He's gonna win a Ballon d'Or anyway here at the end of the month.
Okay, let's slow down, dude. Ronaldo's still playing. Okay, let's slow down.
Is he? You can't watch those games on TV, so I forget
is
about
Cristiano
him.
Ronaldo even nominated this year?
I don't think so.
I don't think he is.
Yeah, they don't even like the league he's playing in. Like, I don't think is like recognized by FIFA. So here we go. So
no shade there.
We asked you guys what Real Salt Lake, or what's your guys' thoughts of Real Salt Lake and everything that's been happening over the past. Well, I guess it could just be like the past match. We wanted your guys' thoughts, and you guys responded, and we're going to read those right now. So let's start it off here. And I'm going to start with Mr. Zerk. Zerk, the LAFC win was a must. I was shocked on how we played and got the result, and of course, Chicho scores. Now that we clinched playoffs, we still got pushed for the best position possible. It ain't over. Plus, shout out to Josh Clark for the Salter FC stickers. Yeah, Zerk, I agree. Alex?
Shout out Zerk.
Shout out Zerk, always hitting us with the great takes. Zerk, we appreciate you listening to the best Real Salt Lake podcast in the state of Utah. MLS Collectors asks, what first round matchup do we want? Who is gonna end the year as leading RSL scorer? Who would be the RSL MVP this year with Ruiz out? So there's 3 questions there. He also predicts that RSL runs the table and finishes second. So, what first roundup match do we want?
Anybody but Houston.
Yep. I take Portland. Portland would be fun, or Vancouver. Those two would make me feel most comfortable at home.
I think Portland and Vancouver would be good result, or would be good at home. But I just think because of what happened with the semifinal and what happened with the game right after that, you have to figure out a way to avoid Houston at all costs.
Yep.
Because then you're just going to go right back to that confidence thing, and it's not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah, they've got our number. We got to avoid them entirely for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, they're still hot off the Open Cup as well. Second question was, who is going to end the year as leading RSL scorer?
Chicho.
How much Asava is that right now? Is he at 7?
Let's not play that game again. Let's just pretend that we know.
Chicho.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, Chicho. I would say Chicho. Yeah, I'd say Chicho. Chicho's on the trajectory, man. I think, if you can get a tough goal like that against LAFC to win, dude, you can definitely. I mean, I think there's 3 to 4 more goals in him if he plays these next 3 matches. I can see him doing 3 or 4. But what he needs, dude, is we need to see a Chicho hat trick, bro. That would be incredible. And it's not out of the realm of possibilities, especially with the teams that we're going up against. We're going to have to find Chicho open. We're going to have to distribute the ball to Chicho. Right now, he's our Messi. I know it's not on the same caliber, but you get the ball to his feet, and he's going to make something happen.
Sava's got 9 in all comps.
I think, yeah, Chicho can definitely beat that then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Severino, I think he's good. He's probably got like, if we go with playoff stretch and everything, can see Sava maybe pulling like 2 back, but even then, I don't feel like he's a consistent goal scorer. And I know that sounds silly to say that, especially when he's like at 9, but yeah, you don't often see like a highlight reel.
No, like, so I get what you're saying there. For me, it's he's just not consistent, right? Like with the amount of chances he creates,
Yeah,
he should be much higher with goal scored than 9. He should be in like the 15 range.
exactly. Yep, that's what I'm saying. So his conversion rate is low, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, plenty of shots, low conversion.
Honestly, he's just been a very different player since Leagues Cup.
Yeah.
He did look a lot better against LAFC, and so that's obviously good signs for Savarino. But he kind of disappeared over that stretch of bad results that Arsenal had.
Right. Who would be RSL MVP this year with Ruiz out? I think again Chicho. If he surpasses Savarino, I don't think there's a clear path to him being the MVP for Real Salt Lake.
I think Justin Glad has a real shout as well.
I'm gonna say Brian Ojeda has a real shot as well.
He has a huge shot.
Huge shot.
Okay. I like that. I'm going attack minded. You guys are going more defensive, kind of improved. Is that where yours is coming from, Josh? Just kind of more so the improvement with Vlad? If he
Outside of the last, that little weird stretch he had, I mean, he's been scoring big goals. He's been coming up big defensively. That's us forgetting about that, 4 or 5 game stretch where he looked abysmal. But yeah, he's just been a very well-rounded player for RSL.
Very cool. This one kind of catches me off guard, unless there's like a different Rossi. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong one, but Cole Lotz says, in my opinion, we got rid of Rossi too soon. He would thrive with the team we have at the moment.
I want to know more why you think that.
Which Rossi are you talking about?
I want him to elaborate just a little bit before.
Yeah, I mean, he's so injury prone.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 4 years ago.
Giuseppe,
dude's
dude.
late 30s now.
He's got to be trolling.
If he's not trolling, I want to know context here.
I saw that, and I'm like, the only relevant Rossi is Diego Rossi on the crew right now, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking,
he never played for RSL though.
No, I know that, but I was thinking, I'm like, did I miss something?
Okay.
Was Diego Rossi on our squad here for like a few months? But when I look back at him, are you talking about Giuseppe, bro? Giuseppe Rossi? It's like, Cole, bro.
If you're not trolling, dude, I want to know. I need explanation here. And this is I'm not coming after you, right? Like,
no,
he's a good player, but it's not something I would have thought of.
It's a literal like WTF. Like, it's, if you are trolling, dude, it's so heightened right now.
God tier. Yeah.
You got us, bro.
Yeah.
Just let me just read this. Hang on. In just all seriousness. Cole Lotz, Cocoa Bean 36 writes, in my opinion, we got rid of Rossi too soon. We would thrive with the team that we have at the moment. Too soon? 4 years is not too soon, dude. 4 years is a friggin' college degree, bro. 4 years is a whole like personality change. 4 years is like 2 different girlfriends. 4 years is a freaking car lease, bro. Too soon? Too soon.
When he's retired, let me see, what year did he retire? Oh no, he's playing it. His Wikipedia says retired, but so he left us in 2020. 7 appearances, 1 goal.
Yeah, dude. He would thrive. He would thrive. Cole.
You know who would thrive here, though, right now, currently, and could have been a big help?
Who?
Everton. I wish he was our guy coming off the bench up until Palacio. Like, I wish he was in the Scott Caldwell position right now. mostly just because I really miss Everton. But
You just missed the confrontation, dude. But for me, like my memory flashback bank of him is like him just getting carded all the time.
yeah, he had a couple really good years for us, but his last year wasn't the best. But
Yeah.
I do miss, and I think Palacio is going to be this guy, and Vera. Vera is definitely this guy, but our
In
enforcers. So
in my opinion, we got rid of Rossi too soon. Cool, dude. Oh man, if you're
we'll
trolling,
wonder.
I
Hey, he
love
scored
that.
more than Artunio, so
You know what? That's a good point.
Yeah,
That is a good
dude.
point.
I did like seeing Giuseppe in like an RSL kit though, man. He was just like a cute little dude with a little curly hair, you know.
Yeah,
Big
it was just
old, big old
unfortunate.
like
Like the guy was never healthy, right? Since his
yeah.
Manchester United days, he came during the pandemic season, which was already weird,
Everybody
right?
was stoked on that though. Everyone was like really stoked on
Well,
Giuseppe.
yeah, because it was a known commodity, right? Kind of like when Bobby Wood came. If anything, he should have said
Mm,
Bobby Wood would be thriving right now because he would be, and I would have accepted that.
yeah, yeah. Real Salty Lake asks what first round matchup looks the most winnable? I think we agreed Portland. Okay, let's decide. Let's give a clear answer. Portland or Vancouver? Who do you guys want?
Well, Vancouver's actually in, so we'll go Vancouver because I don't
Yeah,
know if Portland's gonna make it.
yeah. I'd say that at this moment, we'll probably give it to Vancouver. Um, just because I feel like we recently just lost to Portland, but I feel like the timing of it was just weird.
Yeah, there's just a little bit more familiarity with the Chara brothers in Portland, and so I don't know. I like to go against teams that are kind of a little bit more faceless, a little bit less known, and I think Vancouver's that. Cool. You guys impressed?
Good
I'd also
save.
probably I'd also
Good
probably
save.
throw like San Jose in there.
All right. How far into the playoffs is realistic for us? Well, realistics is we get to a Western Conference final and then we get eliminated. Isn't
Conference
that?
final or bust, man. Conference final or bust.
I think
Yeah,
that's the standard. Get to a conference
call me
final.
crazy, but I think Arsenal needs to make it to a conference final.
We have to.
Yeah,
We need to make a final, dude. I'm like fed up.
yeah.
If RSL, if they got to a final, and even if they lost in a final, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, just get to it. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Be the
I'd
best
be
of the best right now.
probably
They're fine.
realistically probably be devastated, but I think
It's
that's we need to reset that. Oh man, I don't even think I don't know I don't want to reset that. Because you know what happens is if we do get to a final and we lose, then how long until we get into another final, Josh? 7 years? 9 years?
10 plus.
Oh my god. Ugh, then we
It,
have
it
to wait.
depends. It depends on how ambitious Ryan Smith and Blitzer are. Really, that's all it is. How ambitious is your owner?
Yeah. Alex, we
Do you
interrupted you,
want to
dude.
spend a lot of money on a coach and continue to improve your squad, or is making the playoffs enough? And that's what we'll find out.
Alex, what do you think, man? How
Like I
far?
said, I think the bar at this point, even with like the skid, even with a lot of questions heading into the final stretch of the season, I think realistically, the goal for the players and the goal for ownership and a lot of people around the club should be realistically a conference championship game. Um, if you win it, great. Let's go to MLS Cup, and if you don't, well, hey, we made it. Let's improve for next year. But I do absolutely think that this squad should set that goal. It's definitely my goal as a fan, and I would like to see Arsenal go back to that conference championship game.
Yeah, a first round exit,
It's just
unacceptable.
it's not going to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, 100%, it's not going to do it.
Very cool. Well, guys, with that, we're going to start to wrap up here, but we're going to just do kind of a brief preview here. Next up for Real Salt Lake, that'll be Saturday, October 7th, I believe. Am I wrong or am I right?
You're
Yes.
right.
You're right.
October 7th, we've got Real Salt Lake Sporting KC going up against the beloved Cavincio team, which is they're always hit or miss, man. They might have breakout games. They might have some really good matches, but if you guys remember, there was a lot of turmoil in the locker room, kind of calling out the leadership. Then they bounced back, and now they've kind of fizzled. And so they're sitting in 12th place. We're at home. We're hot off an LAFC win. This has to be a match that we win, and I believe we can go 3-1 on SKC. What are you guys' predictions?
Because I'm superstitious, they're gonna beat us 4-1, and I'm gonna eat crow. Okay. Yeah, I definitely believe that.
I think if Josh can remember not to jump for the fireworks, we'll win.
Dude, so
I'm leaning towards that 3-1, like Andy said. I think that's probably what we're looking at home to end the season at home.
I'm not even kidding. Every game that those fireworks have made me jump, we've lost. Every single one. And every game they haven't, we have won. There's something to it. Literally, we've kept track, me and Alex. Every game that's made me jump out of my seat, which has been a lot this year, we've lost.
Well, then
every time.
Just don't show up. Just don't get there like 10 minutes late.
Yeah, so if I've either stayed home and watched because I've had to work, or I'll go stand in like the stairway where I can't hear them, we've literally won every single one of those games. But the ones I've jumped, we've lost.
So you're like a groundhog is what you're saying. Like you see your own shadow, get spooked.
Exactly. So this game, I will be standing in the stairway, closing maybe some noise canceling headphones, maybe 2 layers of them, because I can't bear to lose to SKC at home. I would be devastated. Yeah. And the next show would be a much different tone from me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I feel like a 3-1 result is where it's going to be. Josh, did you say your score prediction?
Yeah, we're going to lose 4-1 because I'm superstitious.
Okay,
I'm just going to say that until forever.
Love it. All right, guys. Well, if you guys are not following us on social media, go to Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Pinterest, and anywhere you guys consume your soccer content, YouTube. Find us there. We'll be back after the match on Saturday versus SKC, hopefully talking some good news and prepping for the next match. Remember to tune in to all the KSL Sports Zone stuff before the game, during halftime, and after the match as well. We're all in that KSL Sports umbrella, so you can never get enough Real Salt Lake content. Also, keep your phones on during the match. Go to Twitter, engage with us, talk with us. We always post the highlights, and we love conversing there with you guys. We'll see you in the next episode. Keep it here for all your latest Real Salt Lake news and coverage on the KSL Sports Zone.